We wrap up now with a conversation around fuel efficiency as the Energy Department embarks on an awareness campaign in this regard. It is in response to the recent declines in the petrol price following a series of hikes that have burdened South Africans. Fuel Pricing Director at the Energy Department, Robert Maake, speaks to us now. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Maake. I think the starting point here would really be what is meant by fuel efficiency in a time of a hiking cycle in the petrol price.
Thank you, Misan, and good morning to the viewers at home. I think the main reason we are here is to talk to the consumers about fuel efficiency, how they can use their vehicle in a safe way. I mean, particularly to save fuel. We are launching a campaign, the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, together with Central Energy Fund, called the Receiver, which is South African Fuel Buddy, and it's available on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. The idea is that you can communicate and ask whatever question you have on fuel, how fuel price is calculated, how to save fuel, and so forth.
When we report as journalists in this field of financial and business reporting, we often reference the rand-dollar exchange rate as well as the price of the international oil. Let's break that down and unbunk for the South African consumer these changes in a month-to-month basis of the petrol price. How is it determined?
Yes, that's very true. If you look at the pump price, you can break it into two components. The main one is the international component. This is the price of importing fuel to South Africa. It includes the shipping cost, it includes the insurance and everything else. And then the second part of it is the local factors where you have your fuel levy, the road accident fund, industry margins, transportation to the service stations. Now, the rand-dollar exchange rate and the crude oil price are part of the international factors because we get crude oil from the international market, we buy finished products from the international market, and they are all dollar denominated. So the changes and fluctuations in the rand and the price of crude oil on a daily basis affect our fuel price will be priced at the end of the month.
Now, we've seen two consecutive fuel price drops, and analysts are expecting another decrease, and that's for the October fuel price adjustment. Interestingly, though, we often ask the question about how much of an impact that will have after a series of petrol price increases earlier on in the year. Let's talk about the difference of a fuel price decrease. How much of that is made, particularly looking at the trajectory that the South African fuel price hikes have been taking place?
Yeah, that's true. We have seen two drops last month and this month, and we're expecting that petrol might drop again in the next month. However, diesel is not looking good, mainly due to the supply and demand of diesel in the international market. We are hopeful that this at least will alleviate some of the burden that the consumers had to go through when the fuel prices were increasing by very big margins.
Lastly, Mr. Maake, there's a question that pops up quite a lot when we talk about the localization of fuel, the ownership of the likes of Sasol, and it is then asked why it is that the likes of Sasol are not selling fuel in South Africa at a cheaper price. How are those dynamics at play?
Yeah, firstly is because we have regulated the prices. So in a regulated market, all the players will sell at the regulated price. But just to maybe explain the issue around Sasol. Sasol has got two divisions. One is Sasol Secunda, where they convert coal into petrochemical products. And they've got Sasol in Sasol called Natref, where they convert crude oil into finished products. Now, I think people are more concerned about Sasol Secunda because they use coal there.
Yeah.
But that refinery alone can only supply about 17% of our market in South Africa. But what most people don't know is that refinery itself, to build it and to operate it, is even more expensive than your normal conventional oil refinery. Remember, it was even subsidized by government when Sasol built it many years ago. I mean, when it was built many years ago before it was privatized. So it's not it's very expensive to build and operate a coal to liquid refinery.
Very interesting. I wish we had more time. Robert Maake from the Energy Department talking to us about this campaign from the Minerals and Energy Department of fuel efficiency in the times of high fuel prices.